like that. I 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 like that.
Okay, what's happening, people?
Hey, people.
Y'all look beautiful. Y'all look beautiful. Even Charlie Brown looked beautiful today with his red on it.
I like your red.
Yeah.
You know,
it's not Friday. I don't understand.
Right. I know I don't normally wear it Friday, but what happened? I had this shirt in the car because my car is a walk-in closet, and I spilled a milkshake all over the shirt I had on. And I said, what to do, Charlene, is to get one of them red shirts you got in the bag.
Hey.
See that? Sandra, he spilled a milkshake.
Yeah. I understand his ebonics now.
Oh, no. See, you don't know. I just got through a medical procedure, and I was like going in and out.
Okay.
With a milkshake.
And I had it in my hand. And I just went to sleep, and it just all over my clothes.
Or is that old age?
Could be old age.
I mean, old people just fall asleep all of a sudden, Speaking of old age, Jesus, you are developing a lot of gray hair that we didn't see before. I mean, what's going on here? Your students stressing you out?
It's just in the genes. It's just in the genes.
Oh, okay. Y'all gray early? Because I know you're not that old.
Right. You're right. So that's what happened. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But you look distinguished, I mean, I'm just telling you,
I appreciate it, sis.
You can still get it, I'm saying.
No, he's in love these days too. He's in love these days, Sandra. So love will do that to you too.
I know. Oh, you in love? What happened? Am I not up to speed?
Wait till you come home.
Got a boo?
I'm ready. Hello, boys and ladies. It's so wonderful to see you tonight. Viewing audience, we got quite the information, quite the show for you. So do me a favor and do yourself a favor. Share. Call your cousins, your friends, or whoever you need to share it with. We need you to share. And it's good to see you, Sandra. You look wonderful.
Thank you.
And my favorite commissioner from the great city of Athens, Georgia. The pleasure is all mine. And Doc, you look wonderful in that red. We got something in common.
Right.
You in the red, just don't step back too far. And as always, Julius, that nose overrepresent itself. You are so nosy at work. But it's glad to have everyone here tonight. I'm happy to be here.
Tiffany, we glad.
He gives the best introductions.
Well, you're very kind. Thank you.
Yeah, you too kind.
Yeah, very kind. That's correct.
Well, anyway, people, we got a lively show for y'all tonight. We're going to talk about a number of things. We have a couple of additions for topic of discussion, for our general discussion, rather. And we're going to talk about those things probably first and get them out of the way. I know that Sandra, I know we started late, so we only have we got enough time. But anyway, I want to wish a couple of people happy birthday. My stepson, Chancellor Hudson, his birthday is today. And my granddaughter, Marissa, her birthday is today. Just want to say happy birthday to those two. And to an old friend, dear friend of mine, Mary Kay Akins. And I believe it's Rufus Bright birthday today, or is it next
Saturday?
Saturday?
Saturday. Mm-hmm.
Well, I ain't going to be in town Saturday, so we're going to tell Rufus Bright happy birthday tonight. I know he's at Bible study, but he'll go back and look at this, and we'll just tell Rufus Bright happy birthday also. Did those producers get those glass of ice for you, Jamal, the producer in there? I know she's not the producer that's engineer, the producers. Anyway, I was just wondering. So I know they hear me.
Yeah, she got that for me.
Okay. Anyway, y'all ready to start?
Ready?
Okay.
Y'all,
Well,
I must love you guys because I am at end of the year and we got 2 days to crank this thing out, or I might be coming back over to Savannah. So that's that part.
What y'all start a new fiscal year or something?
Yeah. We start a new fiscal year and we have to have all these contracts that's going to be extended by 7/1. So yeah, that part.
You got a lot of work to do, huh, Sandra?
A lot of work. I've been staying up until like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. And tonight is going to be another 2 o'clocker.
well, you and Jamal got something in common then, because Jamal be up 1, 2 o'clock in the morning on the phone with his new boo.
I know.
His new boo.
Oh, Jamal
Is your new boo from Baxter Street?
Oh, yes, I did. I went on Baxter Street. I was right there. I was representing. I threw it up too.
All right. Let me know you was on Baxter. I would have claimed with you.
Jamal, you started a new relationship. That is, oh man, I am happy for you.
Yeah.
No wonder you look so, what's the word, vibrant looking.
Yeah,
Look like you about to jump in where I'm at, brother. You look good.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
I mean,
the black Cupid's just flying, is it? That's what I see.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Black Cupid.
But Tiffany, as always, beauty is untouched by the late evening, and I want you to know. When I'm sad, I just go to my Facebook account. I got a picture of you. I look at it, and it picked me right up. I want you to know that.
Well, thank you, Mr. Brown. I appreciate it.
It's a fact.
Tiffany.
Julius,
Yes.
Julius, some things are left better alone, not to even speak of it. See, that's what hurt you. That mouth and that nose you got.
I am a Wolverine. Did you know what they said about a Wolverine at the ceremony today? Say, Jamal, you need to hear this because see, this is why we defeat warriors, and this is why we defeat what Richard Arnold was.
Eagles, boy.
Eagles, and we
red and black. Red and black.
Wolverines eat
That's
eagles.
correct.
And
Jacob
Sandra
was
went to
red
Savannah
and
High.
white and gray, if I'm not mistaken, right?
And Wolverines used to squash bees, blue jackets.
You're
You know?
right.
So they said that a Wolverine, y'all go back and look at the speech what my wife gave today. Y'all go back and look at her speech.
She's biased.
She said that they did research. Scientists did research, and they couldn't find out why a Wolverine was so vicious. Why a Wolverine always won his fights. It wasn't because of his teeth, his sharp teeth. It wasn't because of his sharp claws. It wasn't because he was so strong. It was because of his attitude to never give up.
Where's the Wolverine native of what? Of what country or what? I bet you don't even know.
It's gonna be a native of Savannah when I get on your ass.
Oh no, well, see, that was not necessary. I'm just curious, where does the Wolverine come from? Because you know why they picked that particular one. Maybe Jamal might can share it with us, because I don't know for real. I was asking a legit question.
Jamal acting froze. Wolverine come from Australia.
Oh, it does come. Okay, the Tasmanian devil.
The Tasmanian devil, yeah.
Because that's Australia. Hey, Sandra, he had no idea what part of the region, the world where it come from, but he gonna boast and talk about it.
Exactly. He had to Google that just now. You saw him looking down at his phone. But anyway, let's get into these topics, y'all. I don't have all night.
Okay, we're gonna start on the first topic. Is your topic, and it is all the killings in the last few days in
Houston.
In Houston.
It wasn't even a few days. It was 12 hours.
12 hours. They had 4 killings in 12 hours. What was the cause of it? Tell us, give us the backstory.
It was just random. It was random shootings. So we had 7 shootings that resulted in 4 deaths, and it didn't make, it didn't make sense. They were all over the city, so it wasn't contained to one specific place like the 3rd Ward or something like that. It wasn't like that. It was all nationalities. It was women shooting at each other. It was, I mean, it made no sense. But I'm thinking that maybe it's the weather, because it's been over 100 degrees here for over 9 days. Even though that it doesn't take 100-degree weather for people to get killed in Houston, but I'm just saying, it's just odd that so many shootings would happen in one period under 12 hours. I don't know.
And
you say none of the people were related, you said?
No.
And so you can't stereotype and say it was just blacks or Hispanic. No. You say it happened across the broad spectrum of the whole city itself. Yes. Has it ever been that bad before, like that at one time?
Yes, we have had like a lot of killings in a short period of time, and it's becoming more frequent. And then they move on to the next thing, So we'll hear about that like on 2 news cycles, and then you're hearing about the next few shootings and killings.
You don't think? Oh well, I'm sorry. I was just say, you don't think Houston is still like called Boomtown Houston. You don't think when you got the growth that fast, that bring in a lot of different individual might be causing, you know what I'm saying, coming in from the outside, but yet the Houston people who live there are getting part of the blame because they're not saying that person is from, somewhere else,
Well, I mean, Houston has I remember a time, and it's been a long, long time ago. Houston was one of the worst cities. It had one of the highest murder rates back in the day. Had a higher murder rate than Chicago.
Wow.
Well,
I don't know if you remember that, Julius.
All I can tell you is I've watched the news out of Houston, and y'all have to be straight out of the pits of hell. I'm serious. That city is on fire. It is so much evil and going on there that I've never seen anywhere else in the country. I'm serious. All kind of stuff. 2 twin sisters killed both of their kids. How the hell y'all? How did that happen? 2 twin sisters. One killed all her kids. A year or 2 later, this one killed all her kids. Y'all, it's all kind of, and that's just the starter. It's I mean, everything I get, it pulls up for Houston for some reason. I don't know why, and they tell me everything y'all doing there.
Hey,
I wonder what some of the viewing audience are thinking. Someone make some suggestion or ask some questions or something, because again, it's about you guys too, because we are out here to give our opinion, but we like to hear what's going on in the region. From California, from North Carolina, from all over. We want you to chime right on in.
Chime in.
Julia, I'm going to try one more time. Some things are left better alone, not to say anything. You talk in season and out of season. Your problem is you talk too much. Don't tell me I talk too much.
Chama,
what you got,
chimed
Jesus?
in real good just then.
What you got, Jesus?
I'm gonna tell Charlie and Charlie, and he got artificial seasoning. His season, artificial seasoning.
What?
He got his junior season and his artificial seasoning. He
Thank you
even
so
got
much.
real seasoning.
You know
got
what?
no real seasoning. His factory seasoning.
You know what? But and then the leaders of the city want us to believe that crime is down. I guess like every other city, they want us to believe that crime is down. So, but
I mean, you have to realize if they don't come back and say things like that, they trying to give the impression it's not that bad. It is down from what it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago. But killing is killing, and
That's
you shouldn't
right.
have it no time.
Especially if it's a certain demographic that it's affecting. I find myself here in Athens. I'm always on top of our chief of police, and he's always saying, well, Tiffany, the crime is down, and this, that, and the third. I chop it up to him wanting to save face, because we all know, I don't, for Athens Clark County, I can speak for, but we have police presence, but we don't have police doing what they're supposed to do, if that makes sense. Because I do believe that community policing is very important amongst just law and order. But if you don't have people in positions that's preaching this community policing above law and order, then what you're going to get is more law and order than community policing. And I stay on our police department, because one thing we're not going to do is we're not going to target our African American young men. But we also have a university that's also running rapid. But we don't see the stories from the university, opposed to seeing the stories in the black neighborhood.
So what university is that?
Oh, it's University of Georgia, the UGA. So
Okay.
it's sensationalized when it's an African American group that's committing crimes. But when, you know, we know that the drugs are made in the laboratories at the University of Georgia and pushed into our communities, that's not what we talk about. But we always have to talk about the root and not the fruit. A lot of people want to talk about the fruit, but we don't get to the root of the problem. And so I know that's the case for Athens, Clarke County. I just wonder if that's also the case for Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Well,
I want to ask a question right quick to Tiffany, right quick. Tiffany, if something happened on the University of Georgia, do the local policemen police that, or they have their own policemen for that, or it's different? I'm a little puzzled. I don't know for sure.
So the University of Georgia has its own police department, but not their own fire department. So it's a lot of stuff is in-house because they have their own police department. ACC PD may not show up on the scene because UGA PD has already, been there or has already shown up. So my fight is that because we do have two police departments, I don't need to see the University of Georgia on Vine Street when they should be on Baxter Street, because that's where the University of Georgia's territory is. But because off-campus living is so heavily promoted, then I find the University of Georgia on my residential streets. And so I find myself fighting that too. Like, nah, this is not where you belong. We have a police department for that. But yeah.
Jamal.
Yeah, I want to say, Charlie, but most of the public, again, I'm going to say most of the public universities and colleges, they have their own police force. And so that's something that comes into play with regards to reporting crimes also. And that has been one of the criticisms that people have had, that many times might involve sexual assaults, that again, they've been able to minimize the numbers because again, they're handling it there. So yeah.
Yeah, and one of the reasons I'm glad you guys bringing that up, because a lot of the viewing audience might not go to college and may not be aware of that, and they don't know why a local policeman like Savannah State, come in and say, why in Savannah, the police department or the county coming and checking on Savannah State when they don't see it. And you'll be surprised how many people. Our problem sometimes we have a tendency to think, but the big thing we're talking about tonight, what need to be done with Houston? What's going on? Now I'm a humorous person, you know me. We need to send them fans, or we need to get them some portable air conditioning. She said the heat, whatever we can do to help. I'll come up with suggestions. What you think, son? You live there, we don't.
Well, you know what? We also have a policing problem here, because if you call the police, even if there's a shooting, if you don't say that someone got shot, the police is not going to show up. And depending on the neighborhood that something happens in, whether it be a grandma getting choked out or ran over or something, it could take up to 3 hours for a police officer to even show up, if they show up at all. HPD is crap. And I said it.
I got a suggestion. It started at the top. It start with the mayor, start with the city manager. You can put it on the chief of police, but it start with those guys. If he or she not doing her job, whether she black or whatever color, she or he need to go. That's where it starts. Would y'all gentlemen agree with me? I mean,
this little boy almost got shot. Well, the bullet went into his bedroom. He's 6 years old, went into his bedroom. The mother called the police. Police never showed up. Never. And then she went on the news. She had to go on the news. And then the police department refused to make any statements. See, that's the cover up. And when you have that type of stuff going on, imagine what else is being covered up. So
Yeah, that's probably part of the problem because they can see they got poor morale or they're not coming out. So, and they say, we're going to make it a wild, wild west, just like, each person for itself. Because that's what I'm hearing from what you're saying. I wonder what our viewing audience might be thinking. Will they chime in and type up some stuff for us?
So I just want to just put my 2 cents. It's kind of a question, or okay, so we celebrated Juneteenth, right?
Right.
And so when speeches are being given, they give the history of Juneteenth, and they make a point, I know, in Athens, Clarke County, to say that in Texas, they were the last to know that slavery was over. And so I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theory person, but do you think that plays into the mentality and the soul of Texas and the people of Texas? Because there's still this stronghold of racism and, the need to still have that control. And we know, like from Georgia, having Kemp signing that bill that anyone can carry a gun, knowing that it only affects the Black neighborhood, to say that there is a lot of that's going on in Texas, to where the legislature and the policies that are being pushed, it'll hurt Black communities because they're not being poured into and they're being highly prosecuted. And so, the youth is just like, not just the youth, but residents are just like, at this point, it's just the wild, wild west. We get it how we live. And but that's just, I've never been to Texas. That's just my thinking from, coming from the Juneteenth and them saying, well, Texas was the last one to know that, slavery was abolished. Could that have a play into the behavior that we see now and the hatred towards each other?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I tend to agree because I live around, or I communicate with a lot of the Black people here. And once you communicate with them and get to listening to them, you're like, oh, I understand now why we have to have this extra holiday now, because y'all are slow, for real.
Oh.
They still ain't been, they still don't believe that they're free. And
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Yeah, y'all slow.
We're gonna move on to the next subject. That's my producer ringing the bell, telling me don't let Charlie say nothing. To go ahead to the next subject. Should Trump take a plea deal or fight? You got new tapes out for Trump that should sink him, but it's not sinking him yet because he seems to be Teflon Don. So, should Trump take a plea deal or fight his case? Go ahead, Charlie.
I'll give you my honest opinion. And you heard me. This is my honest opinion. Donald Trump is a great entertainer. He know how to milk the system. If he's not going to plead guilty, he'd rather fight it because the judge still can't give him no time for about another year or so. He can play with it. Certainly, he's going to fight it to the very end if possible. And I think he's a smart man, and that's what he will do. They believe anything he say, like he said, he could gun down someone in New York on Fifth Avenue on whatever street, and he could get away with it. He has proven that now. Just think about it, people. And I'll be quiet after this. Why would he plead guilty? And why don't he fight it? Because he'll be in court for the next 2 years almost. So, that's my opinion.
Well,
okay.
I feel like he better try to track down the same person that gave Joe Biden's son his deal. That sweetheart deal where they reduced it down to he didn't even get probation. I think he got
I think 2 misdemeanors, right?
He got 2 misdemeanors and he got to give back all of his bubble gum or whatever. I don't know. It was just a sweetheart deal, you know. So Trump better try to track them down. So maybe he'll get off with 3 misdemeanors and, you know, a couple of days of probation, you know, just to say that they did something to him. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's not going to do any time. If y'all looking for him to do any time, even if they convict him of 25 felonies, he will not spend 1 day in prison.
And you know why, Sandra? What's so crazy is that people aren't as outraged as they should be about everything that's coming out about Trump. We aren't as outraged as we should be with him being a former president. I mean, you know, people were very upset when Clinton got topped from Monica Lewinsky. You know, people were so mad about it. How could he? But this man has stole classified documents. He has caused a riot. He has done everything. He has just opened up Pandora's box to be like, as a former president and future presidential candidate, I can do whatever the F I want to do. Black people ain't going to say anything about it, and white people are going to go along with it. And so let it come.
Well, that's
we as a community, we as a nation, it's just let it, and we as black people should be as pissed off as ever, because black boys can't even walk without being targeted. Mm-hmm. And we're not as outraged. And Donald Trump can get away with as much as he's gotten away with. And you know what we're doing? We're sitting on our hands and we're waiting to see what's going to happen next. Yeah. And Donald Trump knows this. He's not the only one that knows this. A lot of white elites knows this. Black people ain't going to say anything. And if they do, they don't have a black leader to lead them, to cause them to make an effect or make a change. They'll get over it eventually. And it discourages, you know, the cause is being black people, because why aren't we so irate about Donald Trump just putting on a show and could possibly still be the next president? Honestly.
Well, 2 things, Tiffany, 2 things. One, me and Jamar just talked about this and something on this level on his show the last hour. So go back and watch Run Tell That. And we talked about What of the Negro in Savannah. The second thing is, with what Trump is doing and his popularity is steady rising, even the more trouble that he gets in, you have to look at it one way and one way only. That shows the big divide in this country. You know, you have so many people that are with Trump because he's almost to the point of being a racist. So, and those people who want that, they love to pour fuel on his fire so he can think that he's on fire, you know, and it's just really smoke, but he's on fire. So, you know, he had 71 million people vote for him last time. So where are those crazy people?
73.
73. Mm-hmm. When the total count was done, 73.
Right.
We were more outraged when Obama wore that beige suit. Then we have been. Everybody was talking about the beige suit. Mm-hmm. I seem to like it, but everybody was talking about it. And you would be hard pressed to find 5 people in a row that will talk about Trump in this the recorded tapes, him saying, "Oh, this is classified. This is classified. I'm not supposed to be talking about it, but I'm gonna show you." You know what the hell? You know, but when Obama wore the beige, boy, please. That was impeachment worthy. Ciao. Bye. Go, Jesus.
Oh, I was just gonna say Trump is gonna fight it because that's how he was raised. That's how he's been taught. Roy Cohn was his mentor, and Roy Cohn told him and instructed him that you never admit to anything, even if they got the truth on you, you never admit to anything, and that's how he's functioned. He is the epitome of that. That's why I said you never admit to anything, and that you engage. So he's gonna fight, and he's gonna mislead. He's gonna say no, everything is okay. I never did, and these people persecuted me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 73 is going to believe him.
I'm gonna tell you what's very compelling too, is if they do put him in jail, which is not going to happen, in my opinion. I hope I'm wrong, but what they're gonna do with his Secret Service, because they still have to supposed to protect him. See, this is where some of the problems lie. Even if he go to a federal pen, the Secret Service have to go in there with him because it's just the way it is. So this guy is creating a nightmare for everyone.
Hey, the Secret Service paid to do a job. They just it's a bad draw for them. They can't. They just have to go into the federal pen with him if that's the case. They would probably want to put him someplace where he isolated from everybody else. Then they won't have to worry about the Secret Service.
Well, no. Go ahead, Jamal.
I was gonna say you can go to one of the country club federal places.
Yeah, but
and they have them right
but
there.
I'm saying, but it's still the Secret Service will have to have someone not necessarily with him, just to, because that's in our Constitution to take care of the president, the former president for life.
Well, so you saying that if he went to prison,
yes,
they'd have to send somebody into the prison to guard him?
Yes.
Stop.
He already guarded by federal inmates. That's they can Secret Service. They can swear them in.
Oh,
wait a minute. I want to know who voted and made Julius president of the United States.
No, I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth.
That wouldn't happen like that because
it will happen like that.
I'm not gonna argue with you because you know.
You did any federal time?
Yes.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
I'm telling you what Jesus loved. They'll swear those guys in. Those are federal officers. All they have to do is swear them in or make those Secret Service guys federal guards for the length of Trump's state.
I'm gonna try one more time.
It's an easy resolution. It's an easy job.
I've done federal time. I was in the military. That's federal time.
No, but you don't qualify.
That's military.
You don't qualify.
No, I do qualify. I was under the federal government. I was a part. I didn't do it like as a felony for something. I did it for service. I was drafted. If that ain't doing federal time, you tell me what it is. Oh, great one with the glasses on.
It's not federal time. You
tell me.
It's not federal time.
Tell me. I ain't never did no federal time. I know what I've done.
I lean more towards Julius because he has done federal time. Correct. Thank you. He is the resident authority on this. I like it.
Who's the on his side of the wall? Not on my side of the wall. I just left the VA today. That's federal government. Y'all are losing your mind.
You mute him.
Come on. You a doctor. Would you tell them an educator?
Mute him.
I don't play that. I don't play that. That's not nice. I'm telling you factual. I'm telling you fact. And you don't want to hear the truth. You want to hear that crap you want to spill out.
I'm telling you what I know.
I'm telling you what I know too.
You don't know nothing going no damn VA hospital. Man, be quiet and get out of here. Next subject. What's wrong with that?
Is it federal? Yes or no?
Yeah, it's federal. Maxine Waters bill for housing. Maxine has introduced 3 bills some to alleviate poverty in some of the underserved and marginalized communities across the country, and some to help with the housing shortage and housing problems that we're having all across the country. I applaud Maxine. She's still doing what she's doing. You got a picture of Maxine somewhere up there, Miss Producer. Miss Engineer. Maxine Waters, our esteemed Congresswoman. And there she is. There she is. She's doing what she's supposed to do. That's real advocacy right there. That's somebody who's trying to do the right thing, like Tiffany doing in Athens, Clark County, like Alicia, Keisha, and Bernetta doing here, like Dr. Tanya Howard Hall doing here. I'm trying to call some names I know is really advocating and doing what the people want them to do. But I got to stop with 4 women. You know what I'm saying? In this part, 5 women, with Tiffany. And where the men at? What are y'all doing? What men are standing up and saying that they're fighting for this community? What men? I don't see them. Besides Charlie Brown.
Yeah. Well.
So
what's the heart of her bills?
She wants $100 billion to go into those communities to help alleviate housing problems and to help alleviate the poverty problems in those underserved communities. And she's doing what she did. It'll get voted down because the House is Republican led, and they're not doing anything because first thing they're gonna think is this reparations, and they're not gonna give me and Charlie nothing because they know that me and Charlie get some money. We're going on vacation.
Now, only speak for Julius Hall. My main concern is the poor side of Savannah, like Yamacraw, like not Fred Wessel. What's the name of the place? Kayton Homes, Frazier Homes. That money needs to be put into those units and make them nice, maintenance, landscaping, and stuff. And they're kicking them to the curb. And they've given, what's the name of the country? Millions and millions of dollars.
You crying? Oh my God. Yes, $300 million just went back. Probably more than $300 million. I think I read it wrong.
And that's a good point.
What I don't like about these supposed poverty reduction and housing program type programs is that they are paper programs, just like the Savannah Step Up poverty reduction program. That is the biggest scam that ever started in Savannah, because since its inception, poverty actually went up probably about 10%, and they still getting funded by the city of Savannah. Who gets the biggest budget out of that? It was started by Otis Johnson. That's Jesus's mentor, but I ain't gonna talk about him like that.
No, Jesus.
But
Charlie's old boss.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say those are scam type programs, because it never impacts the people that it's supposed to, and all they have is these little conferences. And my favorite was the simulation of poverty workshop every year that they would invite us to and give us monopoly money to try to live off of. We don't have to simulate damn poverty. We could call in some people that's really in poverty. This is what the white people and these affluent black people got going on. Y'all doing doing simulation poverty. That's just bullshit.
You better say that, Sandra, because
But that's what y'all got time to do, and then y'all get a budget from just a blank check from the city of Savannah to do this crap with. But there are no milestones and there is no credible, outcomes.
So you saying there have been really no markers or no milestones that have been accomplished. I think what happened, and again, I was a part of a lot of it because I got people over to the programs because a lot of people didn't know how to do a check system. They didn't know how to write checks. They didn't know how to get a bank account. They were going to what's it called, instant people that cash checks and was charging them a lot of money. It may not work 100%, but I want to give them credit for doing 10 to maybe 25%. It have helped so many individuals who was willing to come in and pick up and see what it was trying to educate them. And no, I hear your point. And a lot of money was spent, and it did reach a lot of people, got big salaries, and it didn't reach some of the people who didn't need it. But a lot of them didn't come to the trough to drink water either. I'm just saying what took place. And Julius mentioned he was my boss, which I did work for Otis as a political consultant, and he did pay me, and I'm not ashamed of that. I'm proud of that.
Go, Jesus.
And Charlie had us meeting on Abercorn Street on a weekly basis there for Otis' first campaign. And we were out there, but we never got paid. We volunteered. Charlie got paid, but we were out there. We were the ones helping Dr. Johnson become mayor of Savannah. Even when the runoff came with him and Pete Lukakis, Charlie cracked the whip on us. So get on out there.
Muted, Julius, muted.
But this is what I want to ask you, Charlie. Why teach a person?
Hey, Jomo. Oh, why you
I'm gonna bring that up. I'm sorry, Charlie. I'm sorry. I was gonna bring that up.
I need to ask this question. Why teach a person to write a check if they don't have a good enough job to keep money in a checking account? So what they should have been doing is recruiting more than just damn hotels and motels and every corner store or whatever into Savannah and recruiting bigger business so that these people would have living wage jobs. That's how you get people out of poverty.
I agree 100%.
Right.
I agree 100%. And what was happening, like I say, a percentage of people was going to those check cashing place and paying a percentage of their check to cash it. And they were trying to say, if you had a checking account, that's what they were trying to promote, to be honest with you, saying that you didn't have to pay them a part of your check because you were paying a percentage of your check to cash it. For instance, you had a check for $500 at that time. I think you paid as much as $25 to $50 to cash the check, which is a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Go, Jesus.
Just to add on to something what Chandra is saying, that one of the things that happened, this is the prior mayoral administration, a loan was given to Kessler for that Marriott complex down there. $30 million, and it was a substantially low interest loan done by the city of Savannah. There were some people who were opposed to it. Somehow all the people were opposed to it. Again, but this is the prior administration. Now what comes into play, they made the loan, but under the guise of a condition of that they were supposed to now hire local people and that they be provided with a living wage. What has come into play, right, Charlie shaking his head, that has not happened. The numbers of people the hundreds of people they're supposed to hire They have not hired them. And when it comes down to it, not being paid the living wage. A person who was advocated on behalf of that has been Alderwoman Keisha Gibson Carter. She was like saying, all right, you mean 46 million. I don't think it was, my mind like it was 30 million that, but again, she is throwing it out there saying that there's been no accountability with regards to this at all.
You're right.
That's a problem. Yes.
And I think what's compelling what you're saying is that people don't quite understand when she go to city council, she's fighting for your tax dollars. She's fighting for you. And I know that sounds like an endorsement, but I'm telling you what's taking place. And you got Slick Rick down there. He is smooth as ice cream. He is juicing the public. Unbelievable. I'm at the VA today. Just got a procedure done. And a gentleman was from the south side of Savannah. He turned to me and I said, "Where do you live at, sir?" He's south side. I said, "Oh yeah." I said, Curtis Purdy. He said, "We're not voting for him. We hadn't seen him." And he said, "But Van doing okay." And I turned, if anybody know me, Jewish do know me, I said, "So what is Van actually doing?" The man said he put $18 million worth of brick on Broughton Street. I said, "You got that right." I said, "How about Carver Village? How about West Savannah? How about Gitchenden?" And the gentleman say, "Sir, my wife and I are definitely not going to vote for Van Johnson." If anyone listen to this show tonight, this show isn't pro Keisha. It's other people running for mayor. We speaking the truth. Van Johnson got to go. Wait a minute, Robert. Van got red and blue on his sign. And you know what that means? That red is our blood and his guts to give the money to other people, and we bleed in all the black community on street. It must stop.
But you got to
stop it. Think about it. Look at his sign. That red in his sign is blood. It's your blood, Robert. It's your
in my blood because I cut back.
It's in my blood. I wore the red shirt for one reason. I spilled it. God had me to wear it. That red is our blood and Van Johnson guts to just give it all away to who he wants to give it to. Why would you spend $18 million in brick? You got people in Gitchenden and got dirt roads. People in Carver Village got mounds of concrete coming up. In Cloverdale, Carver Village, on the east side. Ask yourself, what has he done? He's done nothing but covert. Now, he did do a good job with covert. You know why? It wasn't exactly for you. He didn't like the governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, so it was defy the governor. So you ask yourself, why are you going to the poll and vote for this man? He got to go.
Okay, now give me a minute. I just need.
Let me take my high blood pressure medicine.
No, don't hold tight.
Yes, sir. Don't take it. Don't breathe.
Please take it. Damn it.
Tiffany can attest to this. So I don't know many of y'all. I used to live in Atlanta for 5 years, and there's a street called Peachtree Street, and they had vacant lots. Very similar to if you take Montgomery Street from Victory Drive and go towards downtown, you see empty lots. Those I can guarantee you in the next 3 to 5 years will be developed into high-rise apartment buildings, condos. The danger of that is that's on the edge of the 5th district. Then you have, I don't know how many of y'all, I just rode around today. I saw 5 public notices, which means something's about to happen. On the other side of that, you have Burkhalter Road, where those people basically have lost out on their house because their representative have told them nothing. And so now they're going to lose all of their land and their homes. So now we're bookend by development. Do y'all see the problem there? Anybody see this problem? It's like on Sesame Street when they would give you all of the clues. And if you didn't get it, I guess you just didn't get it. But I get it. And like Mr. Brown said, we've got to take this next election serious. It's so much so that I'm on the phone pretty much daily with people like Julius and Mr. Brown and Pastor Small, because y'all, What angers me about the whole thing, no, it doesn't anger me because you got to be angry yourself. What troubles me about the situation is that we have people in neighborhoods that look like us that don't get it. I'm going to talk directly to those who think you have arrived, right? You got these nice homes, these nice cars. There are people that are a little less fortunate than us. Can we care a little bit about them? Can we care about our families, our cousins, because they're all in our families? Let's take this next election seriously and let's check the whole council minus the 3.
Okay, well, we're going to go to a commercial real quick, and we'll be right back, and then we'll get into our main other topics, okay?
Arguing a point, considering whether we will have the Salvation Army place a structure on land that should be set aside because of what happened there. It should be as important for us to set aside this land as any land that's been set aside on earth as a result of human suffering and man's inhumanity to man. No one would consider building anything on Auschwitz or Dachau. No one would consider building anything at Ground Zero.
And we're back. We're back, Mr. Brown and Fannie Lou. Y'all see that? Look at that, Mr. Brown. I think you on my screen. Look at God.
That's a good looking picture.
Listen, I tell you, that's a sharp looking gentleman down there.
Listen, let me explain something to you guys. So I want you to hear this. Van got 351,000 campaign. You follow the money. Please follow the money. And that money is not coming from you. It's coming from developer and vendor. He is putting you out of Savannah and he is making it the second coming of Charleston. Have you been to Charleston? Charleston is now, whether y'all want to buy it or not, it ain't no 40, 50. It's 92% other persuasion. I'm going to be conservative and say other persuasion. But it's not y'all a part of it. Follow the money.
And
right, Julie, we can go to something else.
Let me ask Mr. Brown to explain this, though. What people don't understand, Mr. Brown, I've heard people say this time and time again. Well, how can one man do all of that? How can one man do all that? He can't do it by himself.
How can one man do it?
Right, that's what people say now.
I'm going to simply tell you how he do it. He have a roughly 5 votes. He got 6. If you watch the voting, they vote every single time. He can get it all through because he got 6 votes. In Savannah, you need 5, but he got 5 plus 1. Just look and see how he vote, how they vote every single time. And I'm gonna tell you what hurt my feelings. Really, this hurt my feelings. When the Black Bar was trying to get a liquor license on Victory Drive, Van Johnson voted yes. I went, you've been voting no all season. Now you vote yes because guess why? The other 5 voted what, Julius?
Because he had already told them to vote no.
No. Right. But somebody was absent. Who was absent, Sandra? Who was absent?
Not for that vote, she wasn't.
Not for this, Robert. Listen. You know why he did that to black people? And I say it, and I told my wife, I say, because he think we're stupid. He's from New York, and he played to the audience of black people because they'll remember he did voted yes. But he knew it was going to be turned down because he had the 5 votes.
Yep.
And people, and son, I'll be quiet. I'm serious. That's hard, but I'll be quiet. No. And people don't know he backdoor his way into changing the charter. Him and the city manager in workshops, if the ladies or someone trying to get something on the agenda, they can't. You just had noticed Keisha, Alicia, and Bernetta hadn't got nothing in the agenda for almost 3 years. None of that stuff that come up belongs to them because they get voted down in workshop. They got to let people know that. They got to let them know about the $18 million worth of bricks on Broughton Street. This man have been bad for Savannah. I call him Slick Rick because he's smooth as silk.
So, Julius, at some point, I want everybody to go to the city. All they got to do, Mr. Brown and Julius, we should do this on one show. Pull these financial disclosures.
Yes.
Reports. Let's see who's contributing to who. I want, and I know
Robert,
money from developers and contractors. So,
well, Robert, the developers and the contractors going to give it to everybody.
I ain't got none.
Well, you ain't in office yet.
So they getting bought.
But listen. This is what it is. Look who Vane gave.
Thank you.
Huh?
What I'm doing wrong? That ain't give me no money. That ain't saying, let me throw something at you.
They scared of you. They're scared of you.
No,
but look at who Vane gave contribution, $250 to each one of those 5 people. He gave $250 to each one of those. He didn't give Keisha, Alicia, and Bernetta none. He gave those. Look at his financials. He gave $250 to Purdy, Palumbo, Linda, Dietrich, and Estella. If I'm not mistaken, I didn't see. No, he didn't. I don't know what I seen Estella on there, but I'm sure she going. And then we got a big fundraiser at the Wild. See, they ain't raising enough money, and the heat is coming down. So put that fundraiser thing up for Linda, Miss Engineer.
Joe Vaughn.
Linda has a fundraiser coming up. While we on this subject, then we ain't got to cover it later on. Put the engineer, let me see if I can find it.
Where my boy at, Julius? Where my boy at? He cutting up?
There it goes here.
Okay.
Edna Jackson. This was Linda Wilder Bryant.
Not Meg Heat. Come on.
Meg Heat, Shirley and Bob James, and Edna Jackson. They are all having a reception to re-elect Alderwoman Linda Wilder Bryant. Why? She talked about these people. She talked about these people like they had the plague when she was with Alicia.
Yes.
And Dietrich. She talked about them bad, right, Charlie?
Yes.
Talked about them bad. Now she's having. Now she's. Robert, you can't talk when other people.
Well, I'm telling you, tell the people Meg Heapers. That's the impact.
You tell. Go ahead. You tell.
Oh no, you know more. Go ahead. I'm just
No,
telling
I'm
you.
saying, but I was trying to tell the people, and you started talking over me. But Meg Heath is the ex-DA who just lost to Shalina Jones. Then you got Edna Jackson, she's the state rep. Then you got Shirley and Bob James, they own Carver State Bank. Why do you think? What has Carver State Bank ever did for this community? Nothing.
Put it back
They
up.
wouldn't even give me a $6,000 car loan when I was 18 years old. I ain't never been back in the bank since. Except to cash a check. Somebody but anyway, look what it costs. If you want to host it, Robert, you pay you $1,500. Charlie, if you want to co-host it, it's gonna cost you $750. Jamar, if you want to be a supporter, because I know you and her always fist bumping, it's gonna cost you $250. And then Sergeant, you could just send that $100 in if you're a friend.
Because she is a friend. You are my friend.
If Julius, Robert, Sonia, if people don't see that right there, follow the money. That perfect example right there. She never was an advocate for those people. I'm telling you, because I was out there with her when she ran the very first time.
What is Hunter and Hunter? What's
if that don't tell you? If that don't tell you what's going on in Savannah, Savannah is up for sale, and y'all can move to Port Wentworth. Julius, I'd love to have you out there because you'll be going out to Port Wentworth. You be going to Bloomingdale. You be
Well,
doing the
Atlanta.
Garden City. These
Atlanta.
people are killing Savannah for you. Black people, you through. I'm telling you.
What's
And
Hunter and
you
Hunter?
vote them in. Watch what I tell you.
All right.
Don't come crying to me. All I'm gonna do is do what I'm gonna do. Crank my truck up and drive away.
What's Hunter and Hunter Consulting? That's all.
Google
there.
it. All you gotta do is Google it.
Hunter and Hunter Consulting. Somebody, I don't know who they are. Hunter at Hunter T Hall Consulting. Oh, they got a hall in there consulting? Oh, okay. Hunter Hall Consulting. I ain't never heard of them. We need to find out who they are, Robert. Anyway, we don't have to run through that subject there again later on. Producer, we can take that one off. It's down at the bottom. We were going to run through that one after we run through these subjects. But people, we only got an hour left, so let's see if we can get these other subjects in. Liz Cheney says that Trump will ruin the GOP and destroy the country. Do y'all agree with it? And y'all be short on it, please.
He already did that.
I'm gonna put my 5 cents in right now. I'm gonna say Donald Trump did not invent racism, but he certainly made it fashionable and it's getting worse. I'm just letting you know.
He caused everybody either take their sheets out and put them on or leave them in the closet and wear them in your heart, baby, and perfect it. So you are absolutely right. And she's absolutely right. He's done that. And I hate to say it that he just may be, the presidential candidate for the Republican Party.
Well, he is going to be. He is going to be. Before Jamal go, I want to say that the things that he is about to say is not necessarily the opinion of the rabble. Go ahead, Jamal. I saw you get up. There you go. There you go.
Oh, they gonna put disclaimer
1501.
Jesus.
1501. Yeah. Go ahead.
Trump supporters are going to, y'all discussed it earlier. Y'all said earlier, Trump supporters are going to continue to believe in him and subscribe to him, and the racism is alive. And what we have to meet that same force. And we're not meeting that same force. And we just let it slide. I'm not saying no, we can't. We must be unrelenting about this. Queen Quetta and I had a conversation 2 weeks ago. We discussed that we have to be constantly saying it all the time, like a PSA. We got to constantly put it out. We don't care if other people get tired of hearing it. Somebody else needs to hear it. And then guess what? Some of them who are saying they're tired of hearing it, they will finally come around. But we got to meet that same force, and we are afraid to meet that same force. To meet that force.
Same energy.
You're absolutely right. We got to have the same energy. If they want to spew it, let's spew it and be undisputed just as well, and just as pro-black, and just as pro-us, and just as pro-reparations, and just as pro, like, I'm gonna bring it in. You somebody else.
Let me, if I could add to you. Look, Charlie, let me piggyback off of what Tiffany said. I think my issue is you talked about the white hoods. It's the black folk that bring out the white hoods that want to hide it. That's what we got to stop. We got to stop being ashamed of ourselves, of our community, and be willing to advocate and to stand tall and to sometimes stand alone. Money is nice, but money doesn't buy you everything, and it surely doesn't buy you your dignity and your character back. So we got to get the black folk that got the hoods on to take those off and turn them back in.
Robert, you say it a mouthful. All money ain't good money. You keep that in mind. I'm gonna say, Miss Tiffany Taylor, all money is not good money.
That's right.
Keep that in mind. All you people who running, be careful. There are no free rides. If you get on a particular ride, it's gonna cost you. Either you pay me now, or you, Tiffany, look at my eyes. You pay me later.
Exactly.
What if Kirby Smart want to? What was Kirby Smart? He.
You pay me now or pay me later.
I'm a Georgia fan, but I just go to the game, you know.
And the reason I'm kidding with you because you are an elected, official in Athens. So if they bring you a truckload of money, you better come up with a truckload of stuff, perks you're gonna give them, and make sure you lobby for them to have things. In the viewing audience, all I'm saying to you, it's nothing wrong with the contractors doing it, but when they give one or two people a pile of money, then those people have to give them something back. What is Meg Heap doing with Linda Wilder Brent? Ask yourself that question. She's the one who was keeping black men in jail, all the young black men. Selena Jones say, listen, that's not right. Just call it for what it is. Meg Heap was putting him in jail, and now she giving it for Linda because she want to keep Linda in play. Come on. I'm a political genius. I've got more people elected than a little bit, and I didn't do it for free either. And y'all wouldn't know that if a big mouth person didn't reveal that tonight that I got paid. Oh, I didn't meant to call you big mouth, my friend.
But one thing that we got to do is understand these people. We just got to pay attention a little closer.
You're
got
right.
to pay attention, and if we pay attention, we'll see what's happening. We just can't go with the cloak and dagger because that's what they're doing, and they're trying to fool us in everything that they're doing. So we just got to pay attention. Our next subject is Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman message to the LGBTQ community. Dennis Rodman. He has a photo up there somewhere too. Yeah, there he is. I tried to pull the other photo with him with the dress on at the parade. I think where's that in Houston, Sandra?
I have no idea, child.
I think they're in Houston this month. The LGBTQ community. I think their Pride is in Houston.
Well, Pride was all over because
It was a skirt.
Pride Month.
I thought they had a big celebration.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Yeah, well, Dennis Rodman probably was the first. They got this guy that just came out in the NBA, and they said he's the first openly gay basketball player in the NBA. But
What
Dennis
team
Rodman,
he play on?
certainly the first. This guy's the second. Dennis Rodman was first. He was wearing dress, makeup, hairline, eyeliner, eyelashes, lipstick. Dennis Rodman was doing rouge.
And even if he wasn't gay and just doing it for attention, it now works out for him because we're so pro LGBTQAI plus as a nation. So,
Yeah.
there you go.
You
He
know
probably
what?
like, dang, I ain't even mean it like that, but there you go. It paid off, baby. Every time they talk about pride and basketball.
Well, the LGBTQ, in my opinion, you got some of the most highly educated people, great leaders. I just can't buy some of the hijack move they made to take away from civil rights. It did take away. We didn't put a gun to President Obama's head. He decided to say they had rights too, but they jumped on the train of the civil rights movement and took away that. But we gotta confuse the two back together again. I have nothing against them. As long as they do what they need to do, I just don't want them influence certain things I'm a little concerned about. I'll be perfectly honest. And Julius and I talk about it. And one of the things I'm concerned about, to me, it's kind of hard to have a little young man say he got two daddies. I just got to overcome that. Two mamas is rough enough. That's the only problem I got with it. But again, I'm trying to come around understanding. Because if you lead by an example, we are all seeing that. But this young man, as a little tiny boy, see this growing all up, he thinking when he get a certain age, it's just a normal thing for another boy just kiss another boy. But again, I don't want to get into that stuff.
I disagree. I have.
Okay.
But hold on, let me offer y'all. I have a good friend in Atlanta. We worked at Georgia State together.
Mhm.
They're married, 2 men who are married. They have 2 children, and both of the young men are now teenagers dating women. So I think that's a
Yeah.
overgeneralization. Just want to offer that. And I know, matter of fact, I had a cousin. She's now deceased, bless her soul, who was married to a woman here in Savannah. Had a daughter, and she's happily married to a man. So I just want us to be very mindful that we don't want to overgeneralize. And guess what? We also have examples of 2 heterosexual couples raising children that happen to be LGBTQ. So we got to be mindful that we are kind of, like you said, you're growing with it. I'm glad to hear that. But we just got to be very mindful of how what I don't like us to do in America, and we do this in the Black community too much, we put people in boxes.
Okay, no, the only thing I was saying, because I emulate what my brother did. I emulate what certain people did. I did. And I'm saying if they did certain things, I thought it was right. Lead by example. In that case, and I hear you, and I applaud what you say that took place. But I'm saying everyone is not like that. And you got kids who are impressionable age, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They see this, they don't know exactly what's what in the real world. That's the only thing I'm saying.
No, I agree. And let me, because our producer offered something this, and our producer offered this, that she's right. But if it weren't for Baynard Russell, who's an African-American Black gay man, would the civil rights even have been possible? So I just want to offer what a producer dropped in.
James Baldwin as well.
So I'm just saying what the producer said.
Okay.
Also, we can't also negate the women's movement. The women's movement also hijacked the civil rights movement because they felt like being in the house, having to cook and clean for a man, and not have the rights to vote or have said rights as that man. They also hijacked, and it was predominantly white women before they were Black women. So they hijacked it first. LGBTQ may have infiltrated it, but they played their role until it was time to pop out and say, "Hey, I'm LGBTQ." But I'm not gonna say white.
All right.
It was the women's movement hijacked the civil.
Jamal trying to say something. Jamal.
No, I was going to say this. I tell folks, and I shared this with a brother 2 weeks ago, I have certain tests for people. And with regards, especially to African people, no matter what we talk about, that sometimes we get caught into other people's stories and other people's passageways, when in actuality, they leave you in the background. They use you better say that. It leave you work on behalf of them and you advocate on behalf of them, and they still discriminate against you. And so I have this test for people who are they gay, lesbian, LGBTQ, any of that. I say, you need to pass the James Baldwin test for me. Because Baldwin's, let it be clearly understood. Baldwin's like, I may be gay, I may be homosexual, but I am Black. I understand that. I run with that. I push that. My Blackness. See, and that's why even some of y'all who are Democrats or Republicans, you go and push their agendas and they create laws against you. So do we need to go to J. Edgar Hoover, who was gay, but also killed Black people? But I throw that out there. Then I throw out about the Maria W. Stewart test. People want to know, who is she? She's the first person to speak. I call her the mother of civil rights and human rights and political rights. She's the first woman to publicly speak for the rights of Black men having the right to vote, but also for women. She was a Black woman that was in Boston, Massachusetts in the 1800s. But when you talk about suffragists, they don't talk about her. But some people, when I throw out Maria W. Stewart, they're like, ooh. So the test that we need to be looking at when it comes down to us. And if you are Caucasian, I have the John Brown test. This brother who I talked to 2 weeks ago, he's like, I just found out about John Brown. I said, right. John Brown is Caucasian, but he sacrificed his life and the life of his children for Black people. So when you tell me you're an ally, then you got to be the type of ally that you will sacrifice your life, your livelihood for Black people because you believe in what is right. But see, many of us, because I'm telling people, I ain't got to just criticize Black people. And that's what some of us get caught up into. But we will not criticize these other people that are our friends. See, you can talk about, I'm going to throw it out there right now. I don't have to criticize Van Johnson. I know Van Johnson. And so other people may go and say, hey, but I can disagree with his policy. But guess what some of us do? we will not disagree with the policies of those people who are our affiliation, are part of our affiliations, part of our memberships, because who are our alumni from schools and all this other stuff, or our religious orders and all of that, or from our social economic groups. We don't go and do that. And I'm just going to say, yo, follow the test. My test is John Brown, Maria W. Stewart, James Baldwin. That's when, again, because when it comes down to it, Black people, you only have other Black people for you. You might think the other's going to be there for you, but guess what? They also oppress your behind. And that's when it comes down to us being unified in all aspects and respecting our Africanity, our humanity.
Jamal, well put. Jamal, well put. John Brown, Harper's Ferry, John Brown. The key, that's what I told Robert when sharing with the viewing audience. I say Black people are trying. We are working with the LGBTQ. The same words I'm trying to attempt to say, that's what I'm saying. We are trying to work with, them and embrace and see it. And I just say it, I was giving my true feeling about that's the only thing I have going on. Sandra, you want to take that now?
You guys can have it. I'm done.
What?
Okay.
It must
Okay.
be hot in Houston.
We're going to move on to our next subject.
I love this show.
Show that van this guy was in, man. Right races in North Carolina. He up in D.C. and other places, and even in his hometown, driving that thing right there, intimidating Black and Hispanic people. They charged him with intimidation and harassment for that ugly looking van that he riding through Black neighborhoods trying to cause a problem.
See, that's the thing. Ooh. I'm sorry, Julius.
No, go ahead, Doc.
It's the intimidation for me, because if Black people saw that van and attacked that van, then they would be the problem. But you're in our neighborhood causing confusion and trying to intimidate us. So if we all, as a group, as a home association group, decide that we want to jump on this van and beat the hell out of whoever's driving it, then we're the problem. But you're over here antagonizing us. You're intimidating us, and we're not intimidated, baby, because that flag that you so bravely wear is the flag of cowards. Let's call it what it is. Of cowards. They're no different from the people that stormed the Capitol. No different. And you wear it as a badge of honor, like it gives you some sort of respect or intimidation factor. But what it does is it really just puts you in the category of white trash.
Come on, Frazier Park. Come on with that read.
How much is trailer park, really? You giving me trailer park.
Let's give it trailer park.
It's really giving trailer park. You really should hide your flag because it makes you look less than what you are.
It's giving.
That's what you are. Yeah, it's really giving trailer park.
And you know what? See, this is what I don't understand. How they can, because if we went into their neighborhoods, no matter how we look, hell, Ahmaud Arbery was just jogging, but he lost his life for just jogging, not intimidating anybody, but they said that they felt intimidated or they felt like he had done something. And if that video wasn't there, they probably would have gotten away with it on the stand your ground law or whatever. But why is it that law is it only protects them when they can come through our neighborhoods? Because see, the hood in me would have waited, because see, if he comes through a neighborhood like mine at night, he ain't gonna make it through the whole neighborhood. I promise you. He gonna be.
Hey, let's go to Frazier Homes, Sunshine. Frazier Homes.
Okay, I mean, he knows the neighborhoods to intimidate, and I promise you, he is leaving before sundown.
Baby, you end up out there with the Sharks.
Baby, because if he ever came through District 3 with that flag waving. All
So,
right.
Not Dansville Road.
but I mean, the people that live in my neighborhood shut down because they got one of these Trump 2024s inside of their garage. And when they, the other day I was walking by and they shut the garage down because they saw me looking. I'm just like, really? I don't care.
You do know why they shut the garage, right? They figure
They-
you were gonna steal something from them. That was the whole thing.
Please.
I'll be perfectly honest.
Like a
with you.
booster. She look like a booster.
No. The reason I say that because
Yeah,
you're black,
booster.
and I'm saying the first thing come to mind that you're gonna see what's in there and tell the rest of you, Greg, and y'all niggas come and clean them up.
Oh,
Lord,
Lord Jesus.
Please.
Charlie.
I
I
say that's
live-
it.
He said,
That's
he said ninja.
I live in the
Like a
biggest
ninja, like
house
I say
in this
ninja.
community.
It's a ninja. So don't
I got
block her.
one of the biggest houses in this community.
I
These
know.
little 3-bedroom things.
No,
you know,
not a ring.
I'm not going up into these little 3-bedroom things.
Not in the
Just
apartment. What they got shot in the apartments?
We
In the
know.
house. In the house.
Okay.
We guess what, son. We know you not, but that's the way their mentality are. That's the only thing I'm getting at. I'll give you an example. Back in the day, when I used to be on the road with Nestle driving, and I'm going 70 miles down the road, I can hear the cars clicking next to me. Click, 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 click. Before they had automatic lock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm gonna get out at 70 miles an hour, open my door, open their door, and beat them up and rob them. Julie, that ain't never happened to you.
Yeah, I done heard them click while I was walking by.
Shut up,
No,
boy.
driving too, you can have.
Now, Mr. Brown, you ought to stop.
No,
Driving,
come
I
on,
never
you
heard
ain't never heard them click the door when you was driving.
not while I was driving.
But see,
No.
I'm
Yeah, when
but
you
y'all, for
driving,
real,
you can have
for real, let me
click
tell
the
this story. We're
door.
gonna move on. Let me tell this for real. This happened today. So we were in Lowe's. I went to Lowe's with one of my contractors, and he's a darker skin than me, right? Why the man in Lowe's, who was a white man, was not, he didn't want to be bothered with him, but he would talk to me. And so I was like, oh no, we got to go. Because if you're gonna do my homeboy like that, we out. But it really exists that
You
I'm like,
closer,
can talk to me,
you
but
closer
can't-
to white. You
Huh?
closer to white because
Don't
you
do
light
me.
skin.
Don't do me. Don't.
No,
No,
I'm telling the truth.
You've been getting that your whole life. You already
White
know that, honey.
people, no,
I'm not gonna do
white
this.
people, no,
I'm
white
messing with you.
people.
No,
I
I'm
had a
not.
white friend. I mean, a black friend was light skinned.
You saw it.
They willing to talk to him
Right.
and treated me like a second-class citizen
Right.
Yeah.
And I was
because
like,
I like a baked potato, a pretty brown baked potato.
With legs.
Tiffany, cut it out. You know I love you to death. Now cut it out.
you know what? This is next subject. Just
All right, policy and equity.
When?
They had a conference. She'll put it up. There it is, right there.
Oh,
And they had this conference here in Savannah, and these people were at the conference. And if you look up in the left-hand corner up top, you see the mayor. He's never done anything for policy or to make anything equitable for the black community in his damn life. And now, all of a sudden, he's the keynote speaker at this symposium. For what? Look at the bottom down there with the circle. Dietrich Leggett. What has Dietrich Leggett ever said or done or produced or introduced to help the black community besides putting some blankets to somebody under the bridge of getting some kids some free McDonald's? Negro, we need you
cut
to do
hair
some
too. I heard he cut hair. Cut good
I
hair.
see one of our commissioners, District 1. All right, Patrick.
A snap and
Patrick might
turtle.
be doing something. Is Patrick doing something good?
I
Oh,
ain't
you
gonna
ain't got to
speak
talk
that,
about it.
She the
You
first
ain't gotta talk
gentleman. The gentleman to the left.
but- All right.
Get the third. The third. Don't get to that.
But what say y'all?
I will say this. And y'all gonna be shocked. Now I remember his first when he first got elected. I wrote a diversity plan for the city that never got there. But anyway, And Trey, you would say that he did hire a diversity officer, or the city manager hired a diversity officer. It should have been me, but anyway, wasn't. She came from Georgia Southern. She left the multicultural office to go run their diversity thing, but it ain't. Never mind, mind your business.
All right. Well,
I do see that sometimes black men in positions, and I'm gonna put a disclaimer. I'm not trying to speak for black men. I'm just speaking on what I see. That black men are really pressured to go with the status quo, so that they can have more than one term. So the go along to get along mentality. A lot of men that step out and say, you know what, the go along to get along is not enough for me, does not run for office, because they feel like if I run for office, there's going to be things that I can say and things that I cannot say. When I ran for commission, people told me, well, Tiffany, you know, as to how outspoken you are now, you're not going to be as outspoken once you win and is sworn in. But my position is I'm a regular person. I'm a young mom with 5 children, and so I have nothing to lose. I have a lot to gain. And so when it comes to what to say and what not to say, oh baby, I don't know that line. I don't know where to stop and where to begin. I know where to begin, but I don't know where to stop. So I mean, but I do see that conflict in African American men that I sit beside. And so I find myself being the outspoken one, because baby, you just tell me what to say. You start it and I'm gonna finish it.
And I have that same.
Why was it all black men, Sandra?
Why was it all black men there?
Yeah, I mean it was. Look at put the flyer up again. It's for black men, black council men, not women, not persons. Black council men.
And it was a diversity.
No, it's policy and equity.
Well, how can you create equity if you are doing separation?
Boy, I'm about to say something messy. I'm gonna be quiet.
What?
See, you say black city councilmen of Georgia.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe they was coming up with some strategies. I don't know. But to the commissioner's point, I just want to add on to that black men, even in corporate America, feel like they have to maintain the status quo, because they will not speak up even on things, you know, in corporate America. They can see a thing that's wrong. You know, is your boo texting you?
No. This is what's going on. Julius Hall, I told you about the video that we're talking about on July 11th. I'm making sure that I get in and out to people on IG and on Facebook. July 11th, 1:30. I'm trying to make sure we save our black neighborhood. All of it's about to be gone right now. Robert said something, but see, Bob, you got to look at what's going on. They're going to increase the hotel overlay district. That's what I was doing. I'll make
That's
sure
our subject next.
That's
our next subject.
And I had said I can't see.
I believe in you. Believe in me. I believe in you.
That subject is next.
Hold on, but let me. So Chandra asked me
that question.
Yeah,
Chandra asked me something.
You're in corporate America. Tell me why. Tell me why you as a black man. Do you feel that it is dangerous for you to speak up as a black man in corporate America?
You talking about me? Yeah, okay, I know you are. Let me answer this.
Hey, Cliff,
I want to go back to what Tiffany said. And Julius and Charlie will tell you this all the time. It's hard for me because let me tell you the story my daddy told me. My grandfather died when my father was 8 years old. And y'all know this story, some of y'all. And the reason he died was because of heartbreak. The man went to work this is during segregation. So money was really bad. Segregation and the Depression. So he went to work one day and they said, well, we're going to, we don't have any work for you. And they took his job and gave it to a white man. So I'm very unapologetic and I don't mind about speaking on those issues. And I don't mind about speaking on racism. So sometimes I'm like you, Tiffany, like the night I was at a meeting and it was some discrimination done through the Democratic Party here. And I had the whole woosah. because sometimes I don't really care how the other side sees me. What I care about is saving our communities, because for 400 years plus years, we have been ignored. We have been left out of the conversation. We have been put on the menu, so I could give a doggone crap about what other people on the other side think, because my people are going to be treated royally, and my people are going to come first when I'm at the table. So it's hard to sometimes realize you got to pull back.
Right. Just let me add my little 2 cents in right quick. I think one of the reasons, again, I'm not clairvoyant. One of the reasons people always ask the question, where's the black men? Like Maxine Waters, there's been a lot of women, and this was designed to pull out the black men to say, go back in your community and be leaders. I think whoever designed that, they didn't want women to be a part of that. And what's sad at times, we're forgetting young men. It's fathers, take your daughter to work. Mothers, take your daughters to work. And the men are being left behind. And I'm telling you, this is a part that let the men stand up. Y'all guys don't have to believe me. I'm a very wise man. I've studied and watched stuff. And that's a fact. The young men need to go back in their community, in their district, and take leadership along with the women and stand up for black people.
All right. We got 2 subjects left.
Right quick.
One more subject before we get to our main topic. Go ahead, Jamal, but we got to make it quick on these things, people. When you speak one time, don't try to go again, because we ain't got that long. Go ahead, Jamal.
I'm just gonna say we make excuses for black men not stepping to the plate. Black men have there's no excuse for black men not to speak out in corporate America, non-corporate America, and blue collar America. We make excuses. There's no reason for black women not to speak up in corporate America or in non-corporate America or in blue collar America. We have the responsibility to speak up in general, but we make excuses for everybody. It doesn't mean the young, they have a responsibility to speak up. The old and the middle, all of us, that punkish behavior needs to stop, but we allow it to happen. We make excuses on all fronts, just depending on what circle we're in at that moment at that time.
All right. Next subject. Frazier Homes to hotels. There was a sign that Brother Jamal saw up, and Alderwoman Bernetta Lanier showed it to everybody, because she'd been talking about it for months and months and months. This is Frazier Homes. We and Jamal talked about this today on the program, and on his program that came on before here on Run Tell That, came on before us, and we were talking about what of the black man in the Negro in Savannah, Georgia. Here it is. They're trying to sneak in a zoning ordinance for a bigger overlay for hotels where they can't even build a darn hotel. Those are projects. How the hell you gonna put that there for a hotel? Where are you putting those people that live there?
Pushing them out.
They're pushing them out.
But Julius, I think you froze. But while Julius is freezing, what's dangerous is, y'all, I saw a newspaper article last night. There was a motorcycle wreck. The article and prayers to the family of the deceased. But the disturbing thing in that article is they said that the accident happened downtown Savannah. When did Frazier Homes become a part of downtown Savannah? Because the accident was on MLK and Park Avenue.
Well,
So
they moved downtown. They moved downtown all the way to MLK, didn't they, Charlie?
Yeah.
I mean, all the way to Gwinnett.
Oh, you mean all the way down to Victory?
No,
the Gwinnett.
Oh, it's all the way down to Victory. Y'all didn't see 2040.
Yeah, no, it's down to Victory, but at first it was just the Gwinnett. And then they moving now all the way to 37th Street, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah.
All
but what I was saying, I had some people say that I froze. And what I was saying was, where are we going to put these displaced people? It's a bunch of people live in Frazier Homes. It's a bunch of people live across the street in Kayton Homes. So if you're going to move all these people out, and build hotels there, and you haven't even told the people that you're going to let these things, you're going to do the same thing you did at Yamacraw and let the community run down so you can say it needs to be towed down because you didn't put the work in to keep it up.
This is what we're talking about.
Yeah, gentrification by us.
That's right.
All right, so we're going to need to go back in time, and we shouldn't think some of this stuff is brand new. This stuff is not brand new. Some of y'all remember Garden Homes, and Stub Towers. That was the same thing that they did with Stub Towers and Garden Homes. And so then they created the community over there where people can say, hey, you have single family home ownership over there. So it was inviting and enticing. That's what they did. So y'all talk about the historic district. Actually, no, I'm going to let y'all know 20 years ago, I said 20 years ago, I asked people, I said, when did Durant become Midtown? Yeah. So y'all remember Midtown is where some of us are, Cala, Brownsville, all of that east side. That was Midtown, but they moved it. Guess what? Nobody said anything about it. A few of us said it in particular. I know that I was saying something about that. How does that now become Midtown? Because then you notice what started happening. That's when you see the development of hotels over there in the Midtown area. Marriott, Fairfield, all of them now popping up. I told folks when we started our tour company in 2008, I said that they want a 4th tourist area in the city. I told folks there are 3 tourist areas in the city. River Street is 1st, City Market is 2nd, Broughton Street is 3rd. And I tell people on the tours, I say, guess what? They got the black presence out of all those areas. 2010s, they got us off of Broughton Street. 1990s, they got us off of River Street and also City Market, got us out. You see us today as workers in those areas. You do not realize people who take tours in Savannah or come to Savannah as tourists, they do not realize Savannah is a majority black city because they're in the tourist areas. So what happened for me, I'm driving down MLK, coming from Port Wentworth, Georgia. I'm now on MLK, and that is on Monday. I didn't see a sign on 37th and MLK and Montgomery Street. I said, wait a minute. They're about to do another notice. And so I then got to swing back around. And then what happened? Our Bernetta Bryant Lanier, she then went and she did the close up. And I was like, that's right. Because I told folks years ago, they want Gwinnett Street and MLK to be the 4th area, but expanding it because that canal district, what y'all call M-Market, all of that, that's what they want. And so they now want to take the hotels because guess what, my brother Julius? Guess what? They ain't got to get the hotel. Even they can wait on Frazier Homes, but they can get the property on the other side. As you call that with regard to EOA, they can get that property on the other side. They can, bam, the hotels are right there. So they get that property. St. Matthews and all of them. So those churches that are there that don't say nothing, guess what? They coming for you. Me and Benny Mitchell discussed this when he was alive in the 1990s that he said, Jamal, they want us to not have a central parking area for us to not park our cars, then take a trolley to our churches. We discussed it. And he said, so some of us said this. Guess what? People act like this stuff brand new. Some of us looking like we had told y'all fools about this. And so now what the plan is, they're going to look at Cala, Brownsville. They're going to look at Can Park, Jackson Park as a border, Ogeechiton, Carver Village, Cloverdale, Springfield Terrace, College Quarters, Mexico City, Brickyard. All of them are going to be borders now for this 4th tourist area that they're going to have gondolas for people to ride in the canal on. Those gondolas ain't for none of y'all. Right. So I have to sit back and chill on this right here. So guess what? On July 11th at 1:30 p.m. at the MPC, black folks need to stand and speak out. And no longer elite black folks be the ones speaking out for y'all. It need to be all of us and good. And guess what? The John Brown Caucasians, you need to be involved in this. The Patels who want to be about righteousness, you need to be involved in this. That the Rodriguez, you need to be involved in this because guess what? You're going to be impacted too. Some of y'all trying to buy the property up. And then you got black faces who are also not selling property. Oh, I had brought that up on the show, Julius. You got black faces who are the ones going to other black people to buy the property in Savannah right now. They are the ones sending messages to some of your relatives right now, sending the emails to people right now. They're the ones just sending and also sending the postcards. And one of them said to me, he said, Jamal, I'm one of the people that you're talking about. And I'm looking at the brother. And so, again, remember I tell you, it don't matter about age. This is a young brother who was selling the doggone community out. But y'all try to tell me that the young guys do this right here and the old ain't doing. I'm like saying all of us are messed up. And those of us who are young, old, or middle got to stand up and fight right now and stop making excuses for everybody because they your got doggone relatives, friends, and church members and stuff like that, and stand up and understand. Because if not, you're going to have all y'all on the other side of 204 and 95. And you ain't going to have to get back inside the seat.
You are absolutely right.
Jamal,
and Malcolm X said
Jamal, well put, my brother. Well put.
That's right.
And guess what's happened in Charleston? What you saying? They taking trolleys and have to come to church because they have no parking space at all. I was over there today and I rode around the city and it's ridiculous. Savannah will become the second coming of Charleston. It's right now, Charleston is 92% white. Others, but not y'all. Y'all
I'll say this real quick. In my video, I tell that there's only one black neighborhood in downtown Charleston now. Only one black neighborhood in downtown Charleston right now. And in Beaufort, South Carolina, there's only one black family in downtown Beaufort, South Carolina right now, 2023.
2023.
And guess what? And guess what? Like he say, you're going to be across somewhere else. I'm telling you, wake up and get rid of and vote the people out who selling you out. Savannah is not for sale, but you are allowing them by voting for them. Please call a friend, call a relative, vote those people out.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And vote them in the black face that's advocating for them. Them too.
That's it. And right here, what I want to put up in, Mr. Brown, I want people to go to this link. You can see who's contributing to who. And I'm gonna tell you something, like Mr. Brown said earlier, and this is serious. If I'm a developer and I give Tiffany Commissioner Taylor $500,000, or I go buy her a car, or I go build her this nice house, she gonna owe me. That's what you got right now. People like, well, we don't see it. How you know? Well, you can't prove it. But it really amazes. Let me say this, Mr. Brown. I tell people, I told Julius this one morning. I said, I woke up the other morning, and I said, my opponent don't have to do nothing but get up and go campaign and go to council meeting. That don't disturb y'all. So what? I know you got the restaurant, but you ain't gonna do no work. I got to get up and go to work, go do these things. So that don't seem out nobody. So they're getting income from somewhere. Y'all have to wake up and realize you got Deidre Leggett, got a contract for cutting hair, don't even have a barber's license, but I'm not gonna go there. So follow the money.
I want you to stop. No, wait a minute. I want you to stop.
Bring that bell, Julius.
I don't get paid on the table. I don't get paid on the table, so they can't call me out.
And stop. A lot of those kids who trying to grow dreads over there, he is cutting it off fast as their hair grow.
I can't believe that man ain't got no barber's license.
I ain't got nothing to do with that. I ask the state. I ain't gonna do it.
Sandra, and before we go to the next subject, do you know whether Deidre got a barber's license?
First of all, which y'all
he
not
ain't got no tongue or no spine. He ain't got no tongue or no spine. Do we have a barber's license?
You're not going to get me to talk about D.
Okay, then let's go to the next subject. Main subject, last subject. It's not going to be long, people. Y'all give your opinion and keep moving on this last subject. Last subject is, I know y'all seen the video. I've seen it. I saw it first happen.
What?
The son shoots his mother's attacker.
We need an hour, Julius. We need an hour.
No, we do.
I don't need no hour.
We do, but this should be quick because justice was served on both sides.
I got my opinion right quick. And
I got my opinion on this.
I like to tell the viewers.
Go ahead, all y'all.
I'm supposed to give them my opinion right quick. Good night. And this is my opinion. If you hit my mama, if you hit Ruby I. Brown, Charlie Brown might not have a gun. If I had an axe, I'll chop your arm off. Period. Nobody hit Ruby Brown. I love my mama, and she was my role model and my hero. No people in the street. She was. So that man should not hit a woman, and he shouldn't hit that boy mama. And I'm sorry to say, you hit Ruby Brown, I'm through. I may not have a gun.
I'm campaigning, so I'll defer to Tiffany.
I watched the video, and I am the mother of 4 sons, and Daniel is 6'5" at 15 years old. There is no way. And we watched the video together, and I talked to my 2 older sons. So Jacob is 14. When I watched the video, we watched the video together. They're more on social media than I am. Okay, so long story short, Daniel was like, man, you know, he probably should have just fought that man. He probably shouldn't have shot him. No. And Jacob at 14 was like, no, bro, you hit my mom like that, I'm gonna shoot you, bro. I would have did the same thing. And so we had the open conversation as to why. Now, me, if I seen a man hit my mama as hard as he did, I would have shot him and kept shooting him, because no argument is warranted for a man to put his hands on a woman as hard as he hit her. And then for the men in the restaurant to run away before a gun was even displayed speaks so much value on the black man of 2023 in Chicago. Yes. If you're gonna run away from one man who didn't even have a gun, but he used his hands to hit a woman, you ran instead of saying, "Hey, bro, I don't know how many men was in that in line, but it was enough for them to stop the interaction from that man beating that woman, so that her 14-year-old didn't have the need to pull out a gun because he was already getting his butt whooped by the grown men who was standing in line." That's it for me.
I didn't see the video, but I have an opinion on you know, men that beat women and women that bring these men into their lives. Because see, that wasn't the first time. You ain't gonna make me believe that was the first time that this man hit her, you know, and we as women, we have to watch out for who we bring into our children's lives. That is the reason why I've been single most of Chris's life. I've been single because I never wanted to, when Eric was growing up, he's my 38-year-old. I never wanted, I put Eric in situations that, because I was so young growing up, and I would have these Negroes that wanted to fight all the time. And my son would wake up and hear me screaming and stuff like that. And that is traumatic for children, especially boys. And I said I would never put Chris into those type of situations where he felt the need to defend me. So in order not to have to defend me, I just cut that shit off. If a man speaks loudly to me, you know, that's a warning sign, you know. I mean, and you have to keep these men at bay until you know them and you know what they're capable of before you start bringing them around your children and everything. So she could have very well destroyed her son's life. And to an extent, she did destroy her son's life because he'll never be the same again. Because he killed somebody.
Right.
Period.
Well, can I say this to you? No, I just want to say this to her. Short and sweet. I just want to compliment you. The way you look to have a son 38. Congratulations.
Thank you.
But let me bring it back. Let me bring it back closer. The same thing happened to Keisha Gibson Carter. And we had 2 men that sit on council who didn't say a thing. The only difference was it was words instead of physical violence.
Exactly.
And so anytime you allow a black woman to be desecrated in front of you and you do nothing, you're nothing more than a low-life, low-belly coward. And that's directed to the two black men that sit on council that did nothing when that man called her out of her name. So we got to be very mindful, like Tiffany said. If you're in that space and you're not trying to correct it, then you got to really look at yourself in the mirror and stop being ashamed of who you are.
Yeah, and why are black women the most disrespected creatures on this earth? Why is it okay to just hit us and to speak to us like we're nothing and to use us as sexual in objects instead of just who we are, the mother of humanity? Because let's get it straight. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm sorry, Jesus.
No,
I
go
would
ahead.
say the incident that happened in Chicago wasn't a spouse or a domestic. It was a
Right.
stranger that assaulted someone's mother, and that here go this young boy. It comes in and now witness this person beating on his mother. This is a stranger. And Stephanie, when you said that, here go everybody inside that restaurant. They're standing right there, and black men leave out also. Now, when they see it gets a little hot in there, that's what that again. Here go the Good Samaritan concept has left us, and so. But again, it wasn't that it was a girlfriend boyfriend. This was a stranger now pummeling somebody's mama. That was Charlie Brown. You said that. Say you basically, if somebody gonna come up and start beating on my mama, yo, it's gonna you're gonna lucky to get out this alive. And I think most of us are like that and think that ain't no stranger about to walk up and begin beat on my mama and then say several times, I swear on my grandma, I'll do this to you. And then here go, you have the other people saying he was a father of daughters. Now that's why I told some people, I said, listen here, if he had respect for his mother, for the females in his family, he would have never done something like that. Because this lady is a stranger, and that is a problem. But I'm just throwing it out there. So that's why I think they should have gotten off. But I gotta say, there's some breaking news right now. I'm just moving, and that's why I'm looking. Cause I be trying to look at stuff, see what's happening. Clarence Thomas about to retire. He about to retire. What they say it's going to be done during the next presidential campaign. So 2024 election is going to be important. But again, so whoever getting into Congress, all that. So black people, your homeboy from Savannah, Georgia, is going to retire at some point. So we got to make sure we got the right people in office. Black people who say voting don't matter, you better get it together. Voting gonna matter.
Well, I think the Democrats.
Y'all know why he is retiring though, because
of the scandal. Yeah,
because of the scandal.
Because he have no. Go ahead, Julius.
I think it's going to be incumbent upon the Democratic Party to really put the work in, because the Democratic Party is sorry as hell. And they're not using all of the assets that they have to get out the vote. They're not doing everything that they have on the grassroots level to have people to vote, to make people to participate. You got to what they call it, educate. What's the three things? Register, educate, and participate. Right. And you got to do those three things in order for the vote to be up. Now, everybody came out against Trump because he was an idiot, and they didn't want 4 more years of the same craziness. So we're going to have to come out and try to elect people who are going to be able to put people in the Senate. The Republicans should lose the House and the Supreme Court. Okay,
you're right.
They got because the Senate was who's going to put them on the Supreme Court. So we got to be able to put those people in there who can put the right people in place, who won't have to worry about Joe Manchin betraying us or anything. We got to put people in there. The Republican Party is on their game. The Democratic Party, they're scared to give money. They only want to give money to that certain group. You got to give money to everybody. Everybody. That's what Stacey did the first time. Stacey gave money to everybody. The second time, she had so much money, certain people wanted to get rich. And
she got selected. She got very selected.
She did.
One of the things that you guys mentioned, one of the pundits was telling me that the boy mama said something to him he didn't like, and he told her, if you say it again to me, regardless to what she might have said to him. He still don't have the right. I'm going to go back to Ruby Brown again, Ruby Eye Brown. My mama could tell him, you stink, you smell bad. She's speaking. And he raised her hand to hit Ruby. That arm right now be in a museum, because I'll take my axe and I will chop it off.
Let me go back to Julius's conversation about the vote. I'm gonna tell you what's about to be dangerous, and if the Democrat Party don't watch out, and that is one gentleman called Dr. Cornel West. And if he gets the energy behind him on that Green Party, he's running for president for Green Party. If he gets that energy behind him, like I think he will, the Democrat Party in trouble.
Well, I think he could be another Ralph Nader. He could be another Ralph Nader. Cornel West need to sit his ass down somewhere. I love Cornel West, but he's in this for the wrong reason. You're trying to be a spoiler for the Democratic Party, and you need to go sit down somewhere, Cornel.
I've heard a lot of my friends say that they were going to vote for him.
Yeah. What he's trying to do is what Julius just said. He's trying to put himself in position so whoever wins president can use him on a cabinet. And that's how Buttigieg, when he ran for president, he knew he didn't stand a chance of winning. He was running for a seat on the cabinet. People, it's a chess game, and y'all want to play checkers and hopscotch.
I get it. But the problem becomes, what that does is if Trump picks Nikki Haley or Tim Scott, and you got a very strong Cornel West, bye-bye Biden.
And one last thing about Trump, and Julius, I say good night. One last thing about Trump. If he liked you black people so much, why didn't he have but one black person in his whole cabinet? And that was Dr. Benjamin Carson. And Omarosa wasn't in his cabinet. She was no more the do-girl. Do this and do that. And the Surgeon General, guess how he got the job? Through the Dr. Fauci. That's how he got the job. So Donald Trump had one black person, and he was over HUD, and guess what? The man was in medicine. So Donald Trump can care less about Sandra, Tiffany, Julius, Robert, Toray, Tamal. I get it all mixed up. I love all your names you got. And guess who other? You're truly Charlie Brown.
Sandra, real quick.
Good night.
But back to Commissioner's point, the reason why black women are so disrespected is because notoriously we have had no protectors. Period. The government never protected us. We were never protected during slavery. We were never protected after slavery. We've never just been protected. Period. You know.
Well, maybe
So
we could
our sons, I'm sorry, Julius, but our sons feel like it's their duties to protect their mothers. While they're 13, 14, 15, all the way up to 21, whether that dies down once they get older and the world rejects them to the point that they become so common-minded like the rest of this nation. Our sons feel like it's their duty to protect their mothers. And so when we see the video cut to the son and he's just standing there, it's not because he's afraid. It's because he's not used to situations like this. So when he sees the man hits his mom, he's fumbling for the gun. He's not used to carrying a gun or holding a gun, because if he was, he would have been really quick to pull it. He was acting out of fear and for protecting his mom.
You're right. I thought that was a good.
I was going to say this, that people have to realize that black people in general are the moral compass and moral thermometer for the society historically. Because just like when you talk about what has happened, people talk the anniversary of what happened last year. Black women, the womb of black women have always been under the control of other people. The womb of black women have always been under the control of other people from the very moment they are brought into this society, right, into this country right here. Black women's womb have been under the control of governments and other people longer than anybody else. So with Caucasian women, when they want to scream and holler about some stuff, I tell you, you better get back. You better understand that Black women have had to deal more with their wounds being controlled by other people, by government policies than anybody else. So you better stand back. And so Black men, on the other hand, you not understand all that. And that's why I say we come together as one to fight.
That's right. That's right. Still to this day. We're fighting for the rights of our wounds still to this day.
Yes.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. That's right. That's what, exactly.
Listen, I want to let all you guys know, Jewies, and I appreciate you, your input. I thought the topic was interesting tonight. We talk about array of things, and we try to respect each other and let each other speak their bit. Again, Charlie Brown, love you to death. And my main man up there, I call him Big Nose, which he does have a big nose and ugly glasses. But I love that guy. He know I do. And we are the Robin Hoods of the political world. We want to put people in play gonna help you, not to tear you down. We might be called liberals, but we are conservative about things. But at the same time, we're not gonna let them bully us around. We will stand up and fight for you till hell freezes over. And guess what we'll fight? On the ice. We'll fight when hell freezes over. We'll fight on the ice. I want to thank you guys tonight.
You're welcome.
All right. We're going to end it. We're not going to close the regular way. We're going to end it with the video of down in Frazier Home. And we'll see you all tomorrow. I don't know whether we're doing the live Ebony Sports Reports. I think we're doing a rerun of Ebony Sports Reports, but 6 o'clock, y'all tune into Taking the Journey Together and whatever else is on the lineup. My mind bad. But Giovanna, you could play that of Jamal, and we'll end it after the video. Just go ahead and end it after the video. And good night, people.
Bye, y'all.
Good night.
Greetings. This is another dollar observation. All the women, City Councilman Bernetta Bryant Lanier, myself, other people have said to y'all, you're losing your communities. You're losing your communities. And right now, downtown Beaufort, only one Black family in downtown Beaufort, South Carolina. There's only one Black neighborhood in downtown Charleston. And it's trying to continue here in Savannah. So now, on July 11th, there's going to be a hearing. There's going to be a hearing regarding expanding the hotel overlay protection. I mean, overlay is not about protection, but the hotel overlay district. Bringing it down here to this area right here. So Tyler, Brownsville, Can Park, Jackson Park, they're coming for our community. They've already hit Frogtown and the other areas. So guess what? They want to expand it. So you no longer see us here. We have been saying this to you. Our active city council members, our activists here have been saying this to you. They're trying to get us out of a city that is predominantly African American. They have a system of plantocracy, as said by Alderman Keisha Gibson Carter, and they want to have you all just as plantation workers here for tourism. And they want you out of the community, and they will not even provide you with daycare assistance nor transportation.
Like that.